Mr. Lynch, lives will be live forever. Good morning, Mr. Simply, Mr. Simply, 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 simply there. It's February 21, so really only 8 days to the end of this February 6, 2026. It's Saturday in Naples. Today, 12 degrees, siamo 12 degrees scattazione generale. This also one golden leave after Bolivia, also we forse esclusi di contro it's also seems sometimes is a one already and it's really after 13 and 29 minutes. Sì, 7 to 14 Celsius, and this means it's really good. Knies minus fact will discuss it just for the interference of stable for yes, once we consider fact chance and for yes, 17 suspect really overcome yes with reports as a gas passam, c'è l'esame tra passam in particolare la sono che mi farò minimo che passam finché body, also effect really overcome for yes. Si guarda YouTube now for event recommended to be set in the 72 in particular on 16th PM in Italy. However, perhaps no remaining incorporated in the body Chinese opposed indeed. I'm sure that trace remains inconsistent. It's also the attività ma propose effectively uscito Chinese spectrum paradox for me. And in this integral issues of the spring summer Newton fact of the spring so soft for the summer registered for the winter and the autumn once again soft sostanze in general for this season appears as a graduate and as a graduate degree at least for me always I think nothing to add absolutely complain but not in this video because it's winter it's cool so we complain should complain but when a citizens absolutely can complain is referred or am referring to me and in particular to see for this video so fact that the physical for victims factor in less people take the series of practice at all of inducing samias but in particular to practice to show the study for the good when come in winter period winter works we don't always want to come to explain what is practice in this case about it in first part of this comment in asterisk so if someone is interested in the practice in this case event this year see the first part of this comment in asterisk to comment in fact to know the practices non forse da più ovviamente finché tanto si fa che mi scorro ovviamente finché io sono in 70 finché 90% feel cold however in general some way for me was good in stia about scatto sotto si angelo verifica che in 6 cm so is really really good at least seems can be some things on this quindi via finché temperaturas si dice repeat just before si tend to variance for but important thing is to see it but before today beautiful. Busca in questa scena sono i Mendes e la venica non utilizza qualcosa che sta bene di gas, no, le scuole ci sono, e se finché in nave scelti che molto, no, in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just 5 minutes maximum, meaning time generates a effective, and now in fact I see 3 things for later, and it came out, first thing expected now, I think for the same and extract what refrain for classic, and poi song solo in because easy, it's became a bit of a sapso non ripetere solo amico, espressarmi finché robori. So, manato solo, più bello ne, o sole mie, s'affronta a te, o sole mie, s'affronta a te, s'affronta a me, s'affronta a te. Si fa che busca sulla scena streaming, si sta continuando, si fa che si scena il chiamato, quindi totally beautiful, dida sublime, sa scena, nel senso that thing effects, sono ripeti a servizi, it's impossible, a beautiful like this, to kiss it, sa scena, to kiss it. accidental now, but in the period, and the sky, but in the period, change of hours, multiple so last October. This point almost 4 months ago. An hour before was fact already beginning from now later my sense for rather 4 hours pratica in 10-15 minutes maximum more or less in comparison with the main influence a completely different time or from my judgment according to my judgment of my view or in my view my judgment we also can use or I also can use the term schedule but in general let's say time. Well, so sì. Mi dico, quindi ogni altro cortino in frase, mix cortino in parentesi, un cortino in sto magari insomma con sto birthday the previous in particular the birthday it was from all for so nice it was beautiful grey cortino beautiful painted with branches to hip on pass fact from you previous cortino thing si mette si ritorna ma comments in comment section sì che si ritorna ma comments in comment section it should be pointed to the festival per fortuna commentare quando dem si ritorna comment section when you can see una tester it rido se shot di abbiamo from it finco yes sì the green flowers long flowers mix to grants or if not even better usually better ma di short pratica is first part of the video which Perusha showed you the weather sky at the same time classic computer window il classic computer room. Or from a broader perspective, also from inside the shop si mantra classica shot film non sicuro, perhaps fantasy che lì non avrebbe one, because the film I may fan to remember exactly what sure more than sicuro for the press curtini bit beautiful curtini beautiful painted benches proprio su for first curtini solo per forza cara curtini if non exactly sure le cari curtini stili con image recane one day sono in ci Egitto poi si in this shot so related the effect buff when there isn't e quindi non asciuga l'osso when there is but more when there is self che si measure ma si vede il test picture senso che si for the previous sustain bit beautiful che cortini beautiful pentabench traps so si che si for the first turn so the parts of the routine if so si che in a member exactly and now si reddit also si che so di cortini so repeat expression si for 5 times and so even is test picture sentence si dice but also and always better visible for me in its entirety in this shot at this point mythic or legendary shot. sigla di Virtue dell'attivismo fantastica attivismo se last ottobre ma importante sono parte del suo autoturismo attivismo lascia le ditte di special center si poteva ottenere sforit su quale lo sforit so repeat once again but also and always better visible for me its entirety in this shot at this point mythic or legendary shot. And finally, from a medical keyboard, NGX 640, PG, 655, also in this case, original shot. And for instance, since a few weeks, also for now, new shot, in fact, I filmed it on January 24th, it was a story through which you can see another, you can see just the actual condition of the keyboard, but actual condition since December 2nd, 2024, in fact, since that there was no light, and also the little problems with another little problem that as soon as I may try to fix it. But getting on the people of the channel process are getting to learn. So I'm system. So myself and also Pasquis. And finally, you at breakfast. It's in general, also myself, for my fact, I see let me information. And if as I'm repeating success and 31 that occasion for the second, it's late in general for people and the whole for my record, but not at all for my hours. So now so kind of table non bite perché breakfast hours, this is in winter period, in fact, però more December and January, February, yes, but at the same time it's late. But above l'importante è trasferire il regola di esaminato il testo sta fa che back fintan si mette statuita diventare mettere in chimica diventare parte mettere uso di essere su 5 regola di essere consegnano di 3 su sarà ciò adoro repeat close di record later so as at the same time no more no yes just before that is just really obviously just in quarter 29 minutes but the important thing is should remember that in some way also today fortunately so I'm Emily and as we always say ecco fa sono most beautiful that world absolutely and as you know since most when you better scientific more than 1 year I also lost the content thing like X for me reason also the new reason but the one also better say the X for me reason yes vabbè both but better sit one this new X for me reason it was the fifth also the person the beautiful red black and also white as la different mode comparison with the best for some aspects it remembers to me the first one in the story only with reports also second for the cars also absent third because the third was red but red and white in this case red black and white all things that perhaps no following me in particular in fact if they follow me particularly on Fridays with reports think on body sono body which means in general all my other videos no reports I this is should be time period but every music tutto one day or one time so damage better su better because detto che c'è stato le things on the speech and for the saranno c'è so bisogno di gioco so to are talking si want to repeat more than 1 year and for the saranno biscuits the fact there are many beautiful combos with beautiful biscuits yes certificate one mess to basic types biscuits are the chocolate chip cookies or the cookies the chip chocolate or chocolate chips and if not mistake also for the biscuits message Not in particolare, things that are really red and is what milk factor to the shot not only can see coffee but also a quick shock in fact sono andati lasciate fragmenti video sarà shot inizia la tecnica 7 months sì lo sto con ci visit the video sono time ci mezzo better so questo more is quick so it finish now this once is brought it once is think 242 43 this is more than think 5 months 5-6 months no, the months si just before 7-8 months yes so si chiede allo sullo school sono in touch bet allo sullo school ma tu si chiede c'è allo sullo school ci mise in time di period sono in touch bet and so since that month the 3 pattern insert it once again in milk so very good news and we need also techniques breakfast questa bomb sta spiro particolare mega bomb e mi so si chiede last period gioco il most mania so of course I'm living no I want to talk about more mania so of course I'm living the first time so that period and if in some non so che toll Nicolas breakfast questa mega bomb secondo thing is about sia like if there are sia strada con e vedere anzi yes for me sarà sempre position perhaps so che segue the first position with the bum but in general always second position because attraverso questa posizione per me Italian Palm Dark Chocolate c'è festival fa cruelis a due come andiamo giù because they are really super bar Adesso, tomorrow is supposed to be Natale. Currently tomorrow what will happen? I'm watching. And so, as you notice, just in a few minutes, the sunshine. I just before said it in 40 minutes, but in fact I think 40 minutes, 40 minutes, but instead it already came out. And so it's near me, as you can notice. And so now I see two things, or better, repeat two things for last thing, two things just before. The fact, but now in live, the fact that this was the second thing before, the fact, sure, as a chance,